from the vault, high atop the pastoral center of the Diocese of Camden, you're listening to Talking Catholic.
Hey guys, this is Pete Sanchez, staff writer, social media coordinator for the Catholic Star Herald newspaper. Thank you so much for tuning in to Talking Catholic. I'm here as always with my trusty co-host, Mike Walsh. Mike, how are you?
I'm well, sir, and yourself?
Good. We are here at Dunlop's Bar and Grill inside the HollyDell Ice Arena in Sewell, New Jersey.
Yeah, this is nice, and we're not alone for once.
No, we're not. We have a good friend and John Kalitz, digital media manager for the Diocese of Camden. I was going to say the Star Herald because you're kind of part of the Star Herald. You're in.
No, he's not.
Well, he's close quarters to us.
Oh, well, you mean physically? He's close to the Star Herald. Yes, that's true.
It's great to be here.
Close to your heart too.
I am as close as almost anybody else to you in the building on the second floor.
That's true.
We are. I love it, man. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us today.
So, for our listeners who are saying, "Well, wait, it sounds kind of strange there," you might be getting some bleed through because we're obviously out of the vault today. We're actually at HollyDell Ice Arena in Sewell, New Jersey, where we did what you'll be hearing in a few minutes, an interview with Johnny Gaudreau of the Calgary Flames, and a former graduate, not a former, but a graduate of Gloucester Catholic High School and Boston University. But it
was a fantastic interview.
It was a good interview. It was really nice. Johnny's, definitely a guy who's dedicated to his roots and coming back and supporting it, but he's also dedicated. He talked a lot about sort of what has driven him to be an all-star NHL hockey player, left winger, right, John?
Yes, and the best part of it was the massive amount of Gloucester Catholic at this table.
Yes, as noted in the what you'll see, there were four Gloucester Catholic graduates and one person who went to St. Joe's Prep instead.
I feel like you can call me the black sheep.
You were, in this case, you were the black sheep of this table. I'm surprised. Just be happy we let you sit with us. We don't usually do that.
I know. I feel honored to be among royalty here.
We're against outsiders. But if you haven't chosen your favorite area of Gloucester Catholic to walk around, then you should be at the table. But we let you in anyway. So, before we get started with anything else, I want to read our first paid ad copy. It only took 130 episodes, but somebody's actually come on board to be an advertiser. So
pay the bills, Mike. Let's pay the bills.
That's right. So, how far do you have to go to get personalized care that can improve your quality of life, restore your health, and promote your independence? Not very far at all. Your local Holy Redeemer Home Care offers a wide range of healthcare services, from short-term recovery to symptom management for an advanced illness. Our team of professionals provides compassionate, high-quality care, all in the comfort of your own home, because we believe that things just feel better at home. Learn more at holyredeemer.com/homecare, New Jersey. There you go. So thank you very much to Redeemer for coming on board.
Fantastic.
And that's a nice kudo for us finally to have a paid advertiser.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. You'll also be seeing this advertiser in the Catholic Star Herald as well. So if my ad read didn't do a good enough job, you can check out the next edition of the Star Herald and find more.
Mike, you just led us into a new adventure there.
Right. Well, actually, we have to thank our ad rep, Neil Cullen, from the ad director for the Catholic Star Herald. He's the one that set it up, and that's very nice of him. So thank you to Redeemer for coming on board. So what else do we have going on in the diocese?
Well, we got coming up, this is exciting. This Sunday, July 21st, will be the Heart to Heart, the Youth Holy Hour and Social with the Franciscan Sisters of the Renewal, our good friends in Atlantic City. It's going to be a social gathering. High school youth groups and teenagers are open to go to St. Michael's Church, Atlantic City. It starts at 4 p.m. in Quarimba Hall. With pizza and fellowship, followed by Eucharistic adoration with music and meditation led by the CFRs, the Franciscan Sisters. And then the night finishes with benediction at 5:30 p.m. This is again St. Michael Church, part of the parish of St. Monica in Atlantic City. This Sunday, July 21st, starting at 4. For more information, call Sister Ann Cattery, 609-343-1545. And also with the sisters, this is really cool. Once again, they're doing the Light the Fire, the evening of Eucharistic adoration and evangelization. Again, on Friday, August 2nd. Mass at 6 p.m. There'll be adoration, music, confession from 7 to 9:30 p.m. And also, this is at St. Michael Church. So both of these events, St. Michael Church at 10 North Mississippi Avenue. And as well, this is cool, after the Mass, there will be, if you want, you can go out in teams to invite others to come and light a candle in the church and join us for prayer. And night prayer and benediction will cap off the evening. Call Sister Cara for more info at 609-343-1545, and no RSVP is necessary. Just come on by Friday, August 2nd for Light the Fire, and this Sunday, July 21st for the Heart to Heart Youth Holy Hour and Social. That is for high school youth groups and teenagers at 21st, but August 2nd, it is open to all, so come one, come all. And then August 11th, Mike, you and I, and John, I don't know if you've had any experience with this, the Summer in the City that takes place in Atlantic City.
A lot of times I like to stay behind the scenes, but I did design the logo.
You did? Wonderful. True. Even better, so check that out. You can find that logo on CamdenDiocese.org and see John's great work. But Summer in the City is a week-long immersion project for youth to come on out. It's a summer service project. Basically, you work the gospel of service and social justice, and it helps. It's a week long, Sunday, August 11th, through Saturday, August 17th. Basically, gives young people the chance to use their talents and abilities, help their neighbor, and increase their awareness and understanding of what's going on with. The dignity of the human person right now. And in past years, agencies, youth have helped out at daycare centers, housing rehab sites, soup kitchens, community gardening programs, and senior care centers. So this should be really neat. Participation is open to any student who is in high school this year, and all levels of experience are welcome. If you're a veteran to service, if you haven't done any service before, come on down. Call 609-583-2908 for more information to spend a week and next to Holy Spirit High School, Absecon, at the Kairos Retreat Center, Sunday, August 11th to Saturday, August 17th. And then, of course, the Summer in the City is going to be at the, there's a bunch of, not the Summer in the City, the Wedding of the Sea. I'm sorry, that's taking place at a bunch of different events on or around the Feast of the Assumption. August 15th, Bishop Sullivan will celebrate Mass at St. Anne Church in Wildwood. On August 14th, the Vigil, and he'll perform the Blessing of the Sea, starting at 4:30 p.m. with Mass at St. Anne Church in Wildwood, and then procession to the ocean. And then the next day will be the big Wedding of the Sea Festival at the parish of St. Monica, starting 12 noon with Mass at Boardwalk Hall. And then a procession. Mike, you took some fantastic shots last year of the bishop, when he goes out into the boat.
When he goes out into the boat. Yeah, that's always a treat. And John's gotten some drone footage of him out there. So
yes. Sorry, John.
I don't know if I'll be there this time because it's my anniversary is on the vigil. So I don't know what me and the missus have planned. Hopefully, I'll be there. It's my wife. It's actually one of the heavy weeks for my wife at work. So we very rarely get to actually enjoy our wedding anniversary together. But this is our 20th anniversary, so who knows? We might actually attempt to be in each other's presence on it. We'll see.
So if one were to see you at Wedding of the Sea and wanted to, say, gift you something for your anniversary, what could somebody get you? Like if our listeners here, for instance, wanted to get you something.
That's easy. It's the same thing I want all the time. Don't hassle me. You don't need to come.
Don't hassle Mike.
We don't need to interact. It's fine. It's cool. A wave. That'll be fine. A tip of the hat.
Maybe
some 6 guns. There you go. That's all. That's all you need.
What about you, John? What would you get Mike for an anniversary?
I would give him exactly what he wants, and I wouldn't hassle him.
There you go. Okay. That's the nature of our relationship, me and John. John and I get to work. John is a valued member of the communications department. We'll see how valued he is after this podcast goes out. But that's one of the great things about him is he doesn't make my life difficult, and I try not to make his life difficult until we have to. But
I will not say a word to you if I see you at Wedding of the Sea.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
I'll give you the silent treatment.
So, not going to be in Atlantic City this year, so you win an award for taking that incredible photo, and all of a sudden, you're done working that day?
I don't need to be there anymore. I got my award. I'm walking away. That's right. What are the chances he hey, listen, this will be the year that, Bishop goes, so if anyone hasn't seen The Wedding of the Sea, Bishop and usually the mayor of Atlantic City, but sometimes a local official of some time, they go out in a lifeguard boat and they go over the breakers, and he gets out into the ocean and he throws a ring of flowers to bless the ocean. However, it's the getting past the breakers that's always the difficult part. And every year so last year I almost got the shot I wanted, which is him getting flipped out of the boat. Last year that boat went up so high, his back was practically in the water. The mayor of Atlantic City was holding on to him for dear life. I don't know why.
The best part about that photo is I was actually standing next to you.
That's right.
And the boat normally bounces up and down, but this time it looked like it went almost straight in the air. I looked at you and said, "Did you get that shot?" And then, much like the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, you pulled the camera down, and your smile, your grin went ear to ear to say, "Yes, I got the shot."
I got that shot. That made me very happy. Yeah. Most of the time, John's a photographer too, so most of the time you're taking pictures and it's like, particularly if you're doing news photos, you're like, I hope I got it. That was one of the rare occasions where you were like, yeah, I got it.
That's awesome, Mike.
Yeah,
you knew it.
I was very excited about that. Yeah, that was a nice picture.
No, that was a fantastic shot. Well, I don't know. I feel bad. We're talking about the Bishop like this, and we've mentioned that shot and that predicament for him. I'm sure in the moment it was not fun for him. So I'm sorry, Bishop Sullivan, that your predicament led to Mike's award. But I don't know. Yeah.
I think Bishop actually enjoyed that because most of the times when he comes back in, he's soaking wet. But when he came back, he had a big smile on his face. I think he secretly enjoyed it.
Like a rush for him.
I think he does. I think he gets a kick out of it too. But because he doesn't, for one thing, I think he gets the benefit of he doesn't have to do any of the hard work. The lifeguards are the ones that are actually putting that boat out there. That is a struggle getting past those breakers. So it's kind of a nice ride. Most of the time he's done it, it's been a fairly smooth time over the breakers. That happened to be one of the rare occasions when that wave just hit at just the right time, hit the back of the boat, kicked him up in the air. But it's always a treat. And people love it. People come out in droves to it. I mean, it really is a fun event.
People come down the procession after the Mass, run on the boardwalk, and I think they're going to do a Eucharistic adoration near the boardwalk, I think, the pastor of St. Monica. So, and then coming up, we got, this is cool, the Resorts Hotel in Atlantic City will hold the annual Justice for All dinner. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle will be the speaker. He's the Archbishop of Manila and the president of Caritas Internationalis. Of course, all proceeds benefit the work of Catholic Charities, which benefits the most vulnerable, which helps the most vulnerable populations in southern New Jersey. So come on out to this wonderful event. Again, the Justice for All dinner. Cardinal Tagle will be there October 3rd, 2019. Also in Atlantic City at Resorts Hotel, starting at 5:30 p.m., and the local Disciples of Mercy will be honored as well. If you, John, do you know a Disciple of Mercy?
I work with many Disciples of Mercy.
Well, worthy Disciples of Mercy, I guess, yes. No, it's for anybody. I mean, anybody who knows somebody in your community that's really doing great work for the Catholic Church or for their community and in the spirit of Catholic charities and ideally for social justice, by all means, recommend them to be considered for a Disciples of Mercy Award. We really want to do our best to highlight all the great work that's going on around the diocese. Most people do this work without wanting any praise, and I think that's very, very notable. But I think it's a good thing for the Catholic people to hear about and see who these people are that are doing such great work, and more than who they are, what they're doing. So these are opportunities, I think, to shine a light on good work being done in our community. So this isn't vanity. This is really about highlighting what we as Catholics are when it comes to doing good works. We always make sure we focus on the good word, but it's also important that we focus on good works as well, and this is an idea to highlight it. Yeah. That is again October 3rd at 5:30 p.m. Resorts Hotel in Atlantic City. For more info, go to www.catholiccharities.camden.org/JFA2019. And Mike, I think we're going to
let Johnny Gaudreau speak now.
Yeah.
I think,
we're transition into that recording, and you'll hear a little break of it. But that's what it was, and it was a great time, and I hope people enjoy the interview. He's a wonderful guy, really good sort, and we were happy to have him down here for a couple days. And Gloucester Catholic, for two of us, is a wonderful alma mater that we're always happy to support in any way that we can. So we were happy to have him on the podcast today, right, John?
Best school ever.
That's right.
I just have to give two.
We don't want to hear about any of these Paul VI stuff. Yeah, Gloucester Catholic is the way to go.
Well, I want to give two shout-outs. First to John Kalitz, thank you so much. John, as our hockey expert today, you were amazing. You're always welcome. Hopefully, you can talk about anything. I mean, hopefully hockey's not the only thing you come on to talk about.
Nah, probably is the only thing he wants to come on.
Yeah,
that's right.
Okay, well,
that might be the only thing.
We can talk about pro wrestling too. I have to say, I was very happy to get in that pro wrestling reference today.
No,
and to hear
man, spoilers, man. They haven't listened to the interview yet.
I'm sorry. No, well, just that. I don't know. Maybe
you're giving a taste.
Yeah.
That's what it is. All right.
So, and also, just one more thank you to Gus Ostrom at Gloucester Catholic. Really helped put this together. To make sure we were all in the same room. So Gus, friend of the show, worked with him for many years, and he's just great. Gus, thank you so much. And Cara Buckland, thank you as well for coming on.
Yeah, Cara's a sweetheart. She I was hoping actually to ask her a few more questions. She was sort of a last-minute addition because I really wanted to have somebody from the school on in addition to Johnny. And so I think she literally had about 5 minutes notice before she came on the podcast. But she was wonderful, and she's such a sweetheart. And my mom is a huge fan of hers. I'm a huge fan of hers, so it's always great to have her around as well. She's a wonderful sort. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the interview, and here we go.
Hey guys, this is Pete Sanchez. I'm with Mike Walsh and John Kalitz here at the HollyDell Ice Arena in Washington Township. How are you gentlemen doing?
We're doing good. This is a great day for us. We don't get to make it out of the vault very often, but more importantly, we got great people to talk to. And we get to talk hockey, which I don't think we've ever talked on the podcast before, right?
No, and John Kalitz, our digital media manager, is one of our in-house hockey experts. So this is an exciting day for you, John.
Yes, it is. It's a little different. I'm normally a behind-the-scene guy, but once you come to the rink where I enjoy playing and you put a hockey guy on, I'm here all day long.
I did not need to twist his arm to come onto the podcast.
No.
Usually he wants no desire to do this. He just gives me critiques for all the things we do wrong on the podcast. This time he gets to share the blame for whatever we screw up. I'm very much excited. So who do we have with us today, Pete?
Well, we have Johnny Gaudreau, who plays for the Calgary Flames, and here, Gloucester Catholic student, and we have Cara Buckland here. She's a marketing and guidance at Gloucester Catholic High School. How are you two?
Doing well, thanks.
Yeah,
good.
Doing very good. Happy to be here.
Good. And Johnny, so you're, how long, you mentioned you've been home for a bit. Your season ended how long ago with the Flames?
Yeah, it ended middle of April. Obviously a little, came to an end a lot quicker than we would have hoped.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
But, it gives me time to get back to see, family, friends, living in Calgary. You don't get to see much of them throughout the season because you live so far away from them. So it was good to be back home for a little bit. It's kind of it's a good homecoming. And what's going on? There's a scholarship golf tournament you're doing, right? You're helping to organize. Yeah, I think it's July 26th, but I think it's our third or fourth year doing it. It's very exciting. In the middle of the summer, we have a little golf outing and try to help Gloucester Catholic out as much as possible. When I was there, it was a special place to me, and made a lot of friends, and had my dad there coaching me. My brother was there. My dad coached him. And, a lot of friends there. My dad coached, so it just it means a lot to me, and I like helping out.
And your father, Speaker Key, I'm pronouncing his name right?
Yeah,
Key?
Yeah. Key.
And so he was your coach at Gloucester Catholic, and also with HollyDell Ice Arena, he does a lot here too.
Yeah, he does a lot. He's always running around, the rink here, helping out kids, trying to learn how to play hockey. So, a lot of people are, thankful for, him running around, and he loves this tournament too. He loves organizing it and putting it together, and asking a lot of people to give us a lot of money to help the school out. So it's great.
Yes, he does.
A lot of people help out, and it's great.
Now it's also nice. This is also the most Gloucester Catholic graduates we've ever had on the podcast. Myself is 1990. You're John 2001, right? Yeah. Johnny, you graduated what year from Gloucester Catholic?
2010, 11.
And I was 87.
87. So Cara was just a little bit. I was really hoping I was the oldest one, but darn, Cara just.
I wish you were too.
And of course, my mother, good friends with Cara, and of course my mother. She remembers you as well, Johnny. She was the director of guidance at Gloucester Catholic right towards the end of your time there, Joanne Walsh. Like I called her up when I was on the way over. She's like, "You got any funny stories about Johnny I can bring up on the podcast?" She goes, "Oh, he's such a lovely boy. He's so nice. He's always just so sweet, and his dad was so sweet when he was there too." I was like, "Oh, well, that helps a lot, Mom."
Yeah.
But John and I were actually talking about something earlier today, and it was sort of like, what's it like to be coached by your father? Now, your father's been an integral part of your hockey background since you were a kid. So, I have a 11-year-old now, and he's showing signs of being a very good baseball player, far better than I will ever be, I ever was, rather. However, I've never wanted to coach him because I didn't want to. I always was worried that I might somehow make life difficult for him by being his coach. So I'm curious, what was it like to have your dad as your coach and being integral in your hockey development?
Yeah, it was awesome. I think the biggest thing for me was he did such a good job of, once the game and hockey and all that was over, he was a great part. He was great. Did a great job of just being a dad. Not bringing hockey home, and if I had a bad game, he let me know around the rink, around the locker room and stuff. But when we got home, we just did father-son things with our family, and I think that's where a lot of coaches and son coaches relationships kind of go wrong sometimes. Is bringing that kind of stuff back to the household, and he did a great job coaching me on the ice, and he did a great job raising me, and so I was very fortunate. He did a great job at separating those two, because it does get difficult sometimes, and your kid plays well or your kid doesn't play well, and you want to give him a hard time when he gets home, and so he did a great job that way.
Speaking of the area and stuff like that, and your father being your coach down here, I'm also kind of curious. Was the Philadelphia area a good area to be a hockey player in? I always think of it as football first, baseball second, but actually Flyers hockey is right underneath Phillies baseball. I've always found you go anywhere, once it turns cold outside, you see black and orange all over the place. For you growing up, was this a good spot, do you think, to be a burgeoning NHL player?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think there's a lot of passionate Flyers fans around the South Jersey area, Philly area, and obviously those three other major sports are pretty big in Philadelphia as well. But when I was growing up, I always had Flyers t-shirts on, Flyers sweatshirts on, hats on, and you still see it running around the rink today. So, and my dad ran a rink down here too, so I had the ice whenever I wanted, so that was great as well.
And now, I was there about 5.5 years ago when you won the Hobie Baker Award, and that was like a whirlwind for you. Won it as the best college player with Boston College, and that night you got on a plane and you played the last game of the season for the Flames, but you scored your first goal. How was that experience?
Yeah, it's very cool. I always like telling this story. It was pretty emotional weekend. My team got knocked out of the Frozen Four, which kind of brought me down a little bit, and then the following day I won the Hobie Baker, which was really exciting. I had my whole team there, family, friends, won it here in Philadelphia. Brought my excitement up a little bit, even though I was pretty bummed that we lost. And then I signed with the Flames, and I was even more excited, and got to play my first NHL game. And the Flames flew me and my family on a private jet all the way from Philadelphia to Calgary, and played my first game, got to score my first goal, and just a crazy weekend of emotions there. It's just hard to explain, but I remember it was a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but towards the end of the weekend, it was a lot of excitement.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that first game you played against the Canucks, that goal you scored, that was your first NHL shot ever, correct?
Yeah, first, I think it was my only shot in the game, so they gave me credit for that, and happened to just sneak one in past the goalie there, and in the end of the second period. So it was an exciting time.
You were batting 1,000 there.
Yeah.
Well, that's a baseball reference.
Yeah.
I mean,
I understood. I ended that percentage real quick after my next season. So.
And is it?
But continuing with that goals thing, picking it up, when the next season did start, it took you less than half the season to get your first NHL hat trick. How did that feel? Because that first goal and that first shot is great, but to do it in half the amount of time it took you at Boston College, that must have been a great feeling.
Yeah, it was. I think I only had one hat trick at Boston College. It's like one of my last games. It took me three and a half years, I think, to get that done. And I was fortunate enough to do it in my first season there in Calgary. The third one was an empty netter, so it's kind of don't like to take too much credit for that. But I was playing with a lot of good players. I was playing with a guy named Yuri Hudler, was a guy from Czech Republic, was just one of the most skilled players I've ever gotten to play with, and he probably set me up for a couple empty net tap-ins throughout that game as well. So I was very fortunate I got to play with him and a couple other really good players that year.
Going back to a question Mike previously asked about your father coaching you and Mike not coaching his son, I do coach my son, and I love it. I love the game so much. The thing he loves most about watching you is during the skills competition, the puck relay. You have one of the greatest hands in the game. And is that something you practice, or do you practice on other aspects of the game instead of stick handling? Because kids today, it's all stick handling.
Yeah.
But should they be focusing on other things?
Yeah. I think that's one area my dad made me practice nonstop when I was on the ice with him. Stick handling drills, a lot of stick handling drills. Every summer he had power skating classes, stick handling classes, and worked on both of them all the time. And obviously your hands are very important, but power skating and keeping your speed up and tight turns and stuff like that is something really important as well. And it's two things my dad always taught me growing up, and he let me know that were really important if you want to keep making the jump to the next level and the next level and the next level.
So, bringing this back to Gloucester Catholic a little bit, I was kind of curious. You're in Calgary now. Can you describe Calgary for people from Jersey who have no idea what to expect, what the city of Calgary looks like?
Yeah, a lot different. At home here in Jersey, I look out my back window, and I see woods and trees. And then I look outside my window in Calgary, I see mountains and mountains from my condo in the middle of downtown Calgary, and a lot more snow, a lot colder, but it's a lot different. It was something I had to get adjusted to, but it was a really cool kind of experience I've had there my first year, and I kind of loved it there ever since.
So I'm also going to say that that's also not a huge, it's kind of a leap from what it was like being in Gloucester City as well, and what it was like to be a Gloucester Catholic student, where, it's a rather urban area in Gloucester Catholic. I mean, Cara, you and I go way back with Gloucester Catholic. Is it nice to see someone sort of go on and doing, even more today as a Gloucester Catholic graduate like Johnny is, but also coming back and is this something we see uncommon of the Gloucester Catholic people?
I don't think so. We have a huge alumni base, and people love to give back to Gloucester Catholic. And a couple years ago, when Guy came up and asked us if we would help organize the event, we were more than happy to, and everything goes to the kids. So that's the big draw for us, is that, John is kind enough to use his successes to give back to our community, and I think that epitomizes everything that's great about Gloucester Catholic, the family atmosphere and the willingness to just give back for all the good things that people have gained from the school and the community.
Listen, my mom's been retired now for 7 years, and it's still her first love, probably above me and my sister some days. But it's true, there's something special about Gloucester Catholic, and I mean, John knows it as well. It's one of the most unique places I've ever been to. In my role in the diocese now, I get to see all the different high schools, and what I've learned is that Gloucester Catholic is like no other, and I think for all the best reasons. It got me to wondering, though, you still see, I was checking out your social media, Johnny, and you still seem to have a very Philly appreciation. I saw everything you were putting up when they were looking to get Bryce onto the Phillies, and then when Bryce got here, there was some talk about some way of getting Mike Trout back to the Phillies or back into Philadelphia. saw those tweets coming across your Twitter. Are you still very, even though you're away now, you still have that Philly feel to you?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, growing up here as a big sports fan, and, all the major sports, I was always a big fan of. Even when Philadelphia, the Union, got soccer team, me and my brother-in-law and my brother would go down there and watch those games, and just a lot of fun. And actually, funny story, one of my best friends, Kevin Hayes, just signed in Philly too, so I was really happy for him. And he was actually got to meet Bryce Harper yesterday, so he was he's enjoying it right now, and he's very excited to come to Philly. And it's just cool to see, a good friend get to play somewhere that a team that you grew up watching your entire life.
Now, when you come back to Philly, are the fans hospitable to you?
No.
Good, because I booed you lustily because I was at the game you were at. We were right behind the goal, and you scored. And it was the first time my son had ever been to the lower bowl to watch a Flyers game, and we were all excited about it. And you guys ended up winning in overtime, and I booed so lustily. But it was also very nice to see a good Gloucester Catholic grad do well. So after the game, I was very excited for you. But during the game, I hated you immensely.
Yeah, I'm sure. Obviously, I was a huge Flyers fan when I was growing up, so I can see how people are so passionate about their team, and I see in Calgary every day. I go out in my condo, go to Starbucks, and I take 2-3 pictures in Starbucks and get in my car, and people notice me in my car and stuff, and just it's just awesome to see people so excited about hockey, and it's a great sport.
How did you feel about? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm not really embarrassed to admit this, but my first exposure to Calgary, I don't know if it's still popular over there, was pro wrestling. A lot of pro wrestlers are from. I don't know. Are you?
Yeah, no. I got to ride in the Stampede with Bret the Hitman Hart one year, and
my favorite wrestler ever. That's what I mean. Oh my gosh.
It was great meeting him, and it's a really great guy, and it was fun picking his brain and talking to him about wrestling a little bit, but. Growing up, I didn't watch it too much, so it was cool to meet him, and I'm not sure about anyone else. That's probably the only real big guy I know.
Well, I just wanted to end that. I'm glad you give me another reason to really love Calgary now.
Yeah, so. It's a good city. It's I really enjoy it there.
Cara, just going back, so tonight is sort of a dinner and meet and greet, right? And then there's also a golf tournament as well, right?
Correct.
And do you remember what the details are for that?
Sure. The golf tournament will take place next Friday. It is our 4th annual tournament, and we're happy to say that each year we've raised additional monies on top of what we had earned in the previous year. So we're hoping to get up to that $75,000 mark this year. We look forward to inviting more people to donate their time or their gifts of, volunteering, sponsorship, and we're going to have more golfers this year than last year, so we're pretty excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Just one other thing that, we have to let you go soon, Johnny. One of the things that, Gloucester Catholic has always been known for is its athletics, right? It's, as far back as I go back into the 60s, regardless of what it was, I was actually just walking through the halls of Gloucester Catholic recently, and as I'm walking down the back hallway, I see, they have all the trophies out and pictures of stuff, and I realized that the girls' teams in my classes were phenomenal, because the soccer team and the softball team both won championships in 1990, and I was like, hey, wait, that's the year I graduated. Those are all mine. They're all people and it's just kind of a great thing, and do you think having that sort of strong athletic history at a high school was something that was able to help you also sort of prepare and sort of be focused on not just your education and your Catholicism and things like that as you would expect at a Catholic high school, but really help supporting you as a driving force as you became a professional athlete?
Yeah, definitely. Growing up, I didn't know too much about Gloucester Catholic, but I always knew they had a good baseball team, and that's one thing I really wish I would have did a little more of is play baseball, because I feel like they win it every year, every time I see something on Twitter. So it's great to see that. Our hockey team was close one year, and gotta give my dad a hard time and better win one of those soon. And then I played soccer there too. It was awesome. Just watching back at the past and seeing teams being so successful, it's great. It's one of the reasons why I went to the school, and their hockey team was a year or 2 years old, and I was very fortunate that hockey went there, and I got to go and be a part of that school.
We're going to just like 2 or 3 more questions. Who was your, as you were growing up as a young hockey player, who was your like professional hero back in the day?
Yeah, I like Danny Briere.
I knew it. I was talking to say that to John.
Yeah, he's a big. He was one of the better players on the Flyers, and he was a smaller guy I looked up to, and I had John LeClaire. Obviously, I was a little bit more younger for that, but he actually is part of my agency in North Jersey, so it was one of the reasons why I got to sign with those guys too, because I was a big fan with him. And
that was my favorite hockey player.
Yeah, and then I like St. Louis as well. There's just a lot of small guys I was big fans of, and I was very fortunate to kind of watch them play hockey and kind of watch what they did on the ice, and kind of helped me today.
That's excellent.
With unfortunately, there's a tough exit with your team losing in the playoffs. What is kind of your motivation now going into the new season?
Well, obviously go a little further than we did last year. I mean, the end goal is obviously win the Stanley Cup, but we had a really good year in the regular season. We were first in the Western Conference, and I don't think we were playing our best hockey towards the end of the season, and it kind of hurt us there in playoffs. So, just for next year, make sure we're playing our best hockey towards the end of the season, make the playoffs, and then try to make a push for that.
I'm going to ask another one as the coach in me. We recently, a couple months ago, just finished up tryouts for the different levels. I'm very familiar with part of your career, getting cut twice from the U15, U16, and then making the U17. We actually see your banner still hanging up in Pennsauken. What advice would you give to a young child, a youth, who was recently just cut for a team or didn't make the team they want?
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously. It's tough on kids, when you get cut from a team. I've been there. I'm sure most players have been there. You got to just try to put it behind you and keep pushing and keep working and try to get some feedback from the people who did cut you and see what you need to work on. And I think, that resiliency, just keep going back, keep fighting, keep trying to make that same team. And I was fortunate enough to, I got cut 2 years in a row, but that last year I made it and kind of just spring-loaded me into the player where I'm at today. So, definitely, I didn't feel good getting cut, but, I was very fortunate to, it made me, stronger, better hockey player, and it helped me in the long run.
Yeah. Well, if anything, you're, 5-year All-Star now? 4 or 5 years? 5 consecutive years.
Yeah.
So I think you've turned the corner on that one, getting cut. I think that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny, thank you very much for sitting down with us. Cara, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Have a great time tonight. Hope the golf tournament next week is successful. And you're welcome back on the podcast, both of you, anytime you want. Cara, anytime you want to do a little extra for something else related to Gloucester Catholic, just give us a heads up, and we'll do that too.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thanks for listening, everybody.